Monday to Saturday at 7 a.m., 12 p.m., and 7 p.m. You can join us Sunday too for the Weekend Review at 10 a.m. Remember to stream us online at www.kaieteurnewsonline.com or the MyTuner app, Radio Garden app, and you can also join us on Facebook at Kaieteur Radio. And remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel.
It is Sunday, August 21st, 2022. My name is Joshua Van Slykeman, and this is your main newscast. Welcome. Thank you for joining us on Kaieteur Radio 99.1 and 99.5 FM. Let's get to the news in details. The New Amsterdam Regional Hospital, which treats approximately 200 or 300 patients daily, has been found to be in the most deplorable state. According to an August 2022 report by the Inter-American Development Bank, the hospital has not received any maintenance or needed upgrades since its establishment 18 years ago. As a result, many of its facilities, equipment, and structures are outdated and in certain cases dilapidated. The financial institution noted that parts of the hospital, including the surgical rooms, which has 3 tables, have mold on the walls. The bank noted that fungus is also noticeable on the external walls of the various buildings located in the complex, adding that this can be a result of a bad paint job or incorrect paint for the physical environment of the hospital. Additionally, patients' wounds are dressed in a stockroom due to the limited space for outpatient care. And moving on, more than a year ago, Vice President Bharat Jagdeo promised that monthly oil production reports would be published to keep citizens in the loop on the offshore activities, but to date, he has not kept his word. At a press conference hosted on Friday, the VP seemed surprised that data has not been made public yet. It was the Kaieteur News boss, Mr. Glenn Lal, who followed up with him on his promise made since February 8, 2021, when he said he is not sure why the reports have not been made public. Jagdeo was also informed by Lal that the agencies responsible for the gold, bauxite, and timber operations were reluctant to disclose these contracts. Since making the first commitment to publish the oil production reports, 18 months have gone by without a single update on the offshore production. The Guyana government does not intend to waste the short time between the world transitioning from fossil fuel to renewables by being slothful in the development of its budding oil sector, and as such has given the approval for oil companies to move swiftly in developing the resources so that Guyana benefits as much as it can before phasing out the commodity. This is the government's posture, however, even as the country is without full liability coverage for oil spill, while pumping currently more than 300,000 barrels of oil per day from its Liza 1 and 2 offshore fields. In fact, when asked about the government's concerns about the coverage being inadequate and the possibility of having to take the oil company to court over what may be legitimate liability resulted from an oil spill, VP Bharat Jagdeo said it is quote-unquote big hope of all those involved that an oil spill does not occur. Former EPA head Dr. Vincent Adams disagrees with Vice President Bharat Jagdeo that insurance for the $1.3 billion pipeline to be constructed by the oil giant ExxonMobil cannot be insured as yet, since the project's final cost has not yet been decided on. In fact, Adams has rubbished the senseless claims by Jagdeo, who believes it is quote-unquote common sense for a project to be completed before an insurance policy is decided upon. Adams stressed that the need for the natural gas pipeline to be secured, especially since 7 years after the discovery of oil, Guyana is yet to have full liability coverage in the event of a spill. He pointed out that the gas-to-energy project manager for Exxon, Frederick Skirspin, said during a public consultation that the oil company will not walk away from any damages, yet the operator is reluctant to sign on to a guaranteeing letter to simply say that they will cover all liabilities caused by them. Meanwhile, advocate for a better oil contract for Guyana, Glenn Lal, has deplored what he described as the quote-unquote slave master mentality being employed by the U.S. oil giant ExxonMobil in its dealing with Guyana, pointing on flaws in a recent interview by the company's top official here, during which he hailed the production sharing agreement signed with this country as the best deal ever. ESSO President Alastair Rutledge said that he disagrees with the comments that the country got a bad contract. A Charles Street, Charlestown, Georgetown man was on Saturday killed along the Rupert Craig Highway after his car reportedly slammed into the rear of a truck that was at the time removing a crashed car from a nearby trench. Dead is 32-year-old Stephon Stewart. We understand that Stewart was at the time heading towards Georgetown when he met his demise. Police reported that the fatal crash took place around 3 hours 10. According to the truck driver, prior to Stewart's demise, another car avoided a collision with another truck that had driven into its path. Meanwhile, Vice President Barrett Jagdeo has suggested that junior-level state agents may be lapsing in their responsibilities and are allowing issues the government expects them to handle to get out of hand, even as his administration has stated earlier that it has done all it could in relation to the pressing matters of miners' invasion at the Amerindian community of Chinese Landing located in Region 1. Jagdeo made the statement during a press conference at the Arthur Chang Conference Center on Friday as he weighed in on the years-old contention and re-energized in the media for weeks now. The Region 1 community has been complaining for years about an influx of hundreds of gold miners destroying their environment, impeding their way of life, and issuing threats against the well-being of the location's occupants, despite legislation such as the Amerindian Act being in place to protect their sovereignty and overall ancestral lands. The Vice President said that during the recently held National Tushaus Council meeting, commitments to address the matter were given to the representatives of Chinese Landing in a special engagement between himself, President Irfan Ali, and other stakeholders. And with that, we've come to the end of your main newscast for today, Sunday, August 21st, 2022. My name is Joshua Van Slykeman. For these stories and much more, pick up a copy of the Kaieteur News at a newsstand near you for just $150 Ghana, or head across to our website at kaieteurnewsonline.com. Stay with us right here on Kaieteur Radio 99.1 and 99.5 FM. We have lots to share with you throughout the day. Thanks for joining.